Good morning, everyone. It's Phil Wade of Dalton Wade Real Estate Group. Today we're chatting about getting more listings, probably my most favorite subject. So, when I first became a realtor back 7 years ago, I was doing a transaction with another relatively new real estate person, and he said that the best agents are always prospecting. So I just want you to kind of keep that in mind. In terms of you always need to be prospecting, and listings really are the lifeblood of every real estate professional's business. So I had sent out the email. We were going to talk a little bit about working your sphere of influence, doing some warm calling, going through some scripts, and then the last bullet was kind of measuring your success. But let's start with measuring your success first. So when you're actually prospecting for listings, what is success? So success really depends on how much time you spend doing real estate. So if you're a full-time agent, success would be 2 listings a month. From 2 listings a month, you're able to do 2 open houses a week. You're able to meet buyers. You'll get some online leads from your listings, and you'll be off to the races. If you're half-time, then 1 listing a month is awesome, and a reasonable goal. So kind of measuring success, would be 2 listings a month if you're full-time. 1 listing a month if you're part-time, or some variation off of that, depending on how much effort you put in a month. So how do you get 2 listings? So we'll chat now a little bit about your sphere of influence. That's family, friends, business associates, anybody that you know that you want to let know that you're a real estate professional, and as such you work with buyers and sellers. So anybody that you know that kind of is a friend, family, business associate, who's potentially thinking of listing their home, you would certainly let them know how you would be able to help them. The next group of folks would be people you can meet through social media. So those would be individuals that may not know you as well, and you're just starting to develop a relationship with them and kind of pull them into your sphere of influence. So again, that involves posting on Facebook, trying to become the expert in your area, in terms of the real estate person that folks want to go to. Probably the quickest but yet probably the thing that most folks don't like to do is actually what I call warm calling. So warm calling would be calling for sale by owners, calling expired listings, calling withdrawn listings. There's a lot on YouTube in terms of different strategies, different ways of approaching folks that fall into this group. For sale by owners, excuse me, they are actually selling their home right now. And then there's kind of 2 groups of for sale by owners. One group is really the hardcore FSBO that probably no matter what you're willing to do for them, they're not going to give you the listing. But the other group is a group of folks that are kind of trying out selling their house on their own. They're maybe not as committed to it as that first group, and then through time, they begin to wear out. They see that it's a lot more work than they had initially thought, and if you've developed a relationship with them, you're able to get their listing. The next group would be withdrawn and expired listings. Those folks have tried with another agent, but actually it didn't get done for various reasons. Those reasons usually fall into 2 very distinct groups. 1, the property wasn't priced correctly, or 2, the property wasn't marketed correctly. We've all seen poor photography on listings, photos taken at night, photos taken with a cell phone, really not putting the best foot forward in terms of the marketing of that property. So that often can be the reason why that property didn't sell, plus time. If you've ever had a listing that expired and then you relaunched it, it comes back out as a new listing, and lo and behold, you get a lot more activity because to the public it's new, even though it's been out there before. So it's kind of a rebirth of that listing, and those are reasons why, and selling points to the person whose listing expired or was withdrawn. A lot of times they may need a little bit of a break before they get back into selling their home, but eventually they do come back. They do come back out. I know many folks are new or relatively new. The big thing with prospecting for listings is really just executing. It is not complicated, it is not hard, it's just you have to do it. You have to put the time in order to be successful. I've developed several scripts that I'm happy to share with everyone if they just want to email me and ask for them. I've sent them out before. The scripts are guides, they're not cast in stone. You can modify them, but again, the scripts are a tool to help you, but really the big thing is actually putting the time in and the effort. And when we talk about time, what do we mean by that? From my own calling, I found that you can call about 10 people an hour. So if you put 40 hours in during a month, I like to kind of break things down to a month. So we're looking for 2 listings within a month. If you spend 40 hours, that's 10 hours a week. Calling, you should be able to touch close to 400 either FSBOs, expired or withdrawn listings. And again, with just a conversion of 0.5%, so you need only 2 to actually pull in and get their listing, you'll have your 2 listings. You may be able to even do it with a slightly less percentage than that if you were effectively able to work your sphere of influence and maybe some social media channels to sort of help generate the listings. So, but the big holdup is that folks don't actually put the time in. If you're full-time as a real estate person, and what are you actually doing with your time? Blot calendar off your week. I was talking with a new agent earlier in the week, and she was calling, which was awesome, but she was doing it 1 hour a day, so she was doing 5 hours a week. So I said to her, look, if you take that up to 10 hours, double your effort, your results will double. So 10 hours a week, that's 2 hours a day, very reasonable. It's just, for me personally, it's start and then just crank it out for those 2 hours, and then you've finished it up. So, and again, when you're chatting with people, you're putting yourself out there. Again, if you think of what we're talking about, if you're going to make 400 calls in a month and you're going to get 2 listings, that's 398 no's, basically. Not a big deal. You don't care. It's the 2 that you got that's important, not the 398 that went to another agent, weren't ready, you weren't able to get in touch with, whatever it is. So success is 2 listings, a month. And then again, the other thing is, of those 398 people, not everybody says, hey, come right over, let me look at your listing presentation. No, it might be, call me back in a couple weeks, or can I check in with you in a little bit of time? Because again, the trick is that when they're ready, you have to be there. It's the person that calls them when they're actually, if they're not ready to list their property for 6 more weeks, and you call them now, you're not gonna, it's not gonna happen. But if you leave it with them that you're gonna follow up in 5 weeks, and they're appreciative that you did, and shows you have good follow-up skills, you may get that listing. So, if there's anyone that would like sort of to do some role playing around expired listings, withdrawn listings, prospecting to for sale by owners, I'm more than happy to to do that with you. If you want to have me listen to some of your calls and put me on mute, I'm happy to do that as well. But really, I just can't stress enough, the big thing is to actually do it, to put yourself out there and to make the calls. So I'm so convinced that if you call, you will get listings, that I'm going to put this out there. If somebody puts in 40 hours in April and then doesn't get 2 listings, I'll take them out to dinner, because I'm so positive that if you do it, you'll get it. But what I find is people just don't do it. So, you know, we're going to sign off now, but I will throw it first out to if there are any questions. We've actually flipped the camera so I can see the questions coming in. Anybody have any questions out there? You just type it in on the little bar, and I'll wait a couple minutes and see if anybody's got any response. All right, looks like everybody's good to go. So thank you for attending this Saturday's training meeting around listings. Certainly happy to do some more follow-up one-on-one work with anybody that's interested. Thanks for tuning in. Give me a call. Oh, here we go. How do we get clients now? Well, basically you get clients now by executing and putting in some effort around. There is the RedX program, which I didn't mention. So RedX actually gives you all the all the listings that have recently expired, recently have been withdrawn, or for sale by owners, and then it accompanies those listings with the phone number. So again, getting business now, you just have to start. So it's what's the best way to get new leads? Well, when you're asking the best way to get new leads, is that new buyer leads or new seller leads? So the seller leads, are through RedX, and again, I'm happy to share the company's login information with anyone. You just email me and ask me. And then on buyer leads, typically they come from your listing if you have listings, or there's some internet, lead generation programs, Zillow, TrulyARealtor.com. Those tend to, be a subscription fee based on a zip code, or you may be able to partner with somebody who's already receiving leads, and then they can send you their overflow, and then you pay them a referral fee if you're able to close the transaction. So, any additional questions? If you want to take it offline, give me a call, and we'll go from there. Have a great holiday weekend. Thank you.